All right, Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Yep.
All right, so what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next. Thank you all for tuning in as normal to our episodes. We have a lot of action-packed stuff because we have to go over the All-Star game and then also the Super Bowl and stuff of that nature. But before we get into any of that, Steven, what's been good with the quick slants?
So I missed last week. I missed last week's show for us. I missed last week's quick slants. When you got kids, they get you sick, as you know, you've experienced with me before.
Yeah.
It gets you sick pretty quick. So yeah, I was down and out last week for a couple of days. But getting back into it this week, probably gonna end up doing it maybe Friday night. Potentially. We'll see how it goes. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday, which I'll talk about at the end of the show. And then we got some stuff planned for the weekend. So might be like a 2-week break. There's just so much going on right now, but we'll talk about we'll recap the Super Bowl whenever I do talk about it. I know it's gonna be well past it, but we'll talk about it anyways. We'll talk about Matt Stafford. Is he a Hall of Famer? Talk about Aaron Donald, where he's at if he retires. Like, I mean, he's already one of the greatest football players ever, considered by not just like the people in the media, but by like everybody. So we'll talk about that. The combine is fast approaching, so we'll start talking about that.
Ready for that? Yeah.
We'll start talking about that. That's one of my favorite sporting events of the year. I have no idea why, but we'll start talking about that. Not a whole lot of Penn State football talk until probably this, maybe end of March, beginning of April. We'll sprinkle some in there, but we'll talk about Penn State football related to the combine because we have, I believe, 9 players going to the combine. It's a pretty big number. So we'll talk about those guys, kind of just, roll into the NBA. Second half of the season starts in a week or so after the All-Star break. Teams get back to it. So we got a lot to talk about. But yeah, just trying to get back in the swing of things, trying to get healthy, and get back to it. But yeah, if I don't do it this week, for sure, we'll start back up next week. Maybe I'll throw a doubleheader in there.
Yeah. So big thing before we continue with everything, I do have to shout out to Steven because all the way back when, he was always talking about Aaron Donald. What a lot of people are focused on, like J.J. Watt and all the other defenders, year in and year out, he was bringing up Aaron Donald when it was the Rams, and nobody really talked about the Rams. Steven was always bringing up Aaron Donald. So I do got to shout out Steven for that. Also, something else that I wanted to shouting out Steven for. Don't think he's seen this, but I saw this. I was like, what the hell is this that we're actually about to watch?
Yo, okay. So I did see this because there was a video. I don't know if it's in the same thread, but
Stingray.
And this girl was like, "Why is there Stingray outside my apartment?"
Yeah,
I don't know why that's happening. Why? I mean, this is a little different than a Stingray. That's a whole ass walrus.
So my question to you is, because there were other ones like random things. Which one would you rather see, and which one would freak you out more? This big ass thing,
bro. If I walked outside my house and I saw that going down the street, like that, like a Stingray, it's not gonna that probably can't kill you. Like as quick as a Stingray can, with what it can do. Shout out to Steve Irwin, but a Stingray is just there. That thing weighs, I don't know. What do you think that thing weighs? Like 500-600 pounds?
Easily.
1,000%. Yeah. So if I just saw that thing blubbing down the street doing the worm, I mean, that shit would be pretty that would be pretty dope. But I wouldn't be scared. I'd be like, okay, why is that flubbing down the street?
Yeah. No, that was a crazy thing when I saw it.
I want to know where that is too.
So I want to know where this is, but then I'm also like, where the hell is that? How did the Stingray get to where it was? Did someone just put the Stingray there, or what the hell happened?
That I can believe. No one's gonna just drop that off on the sidewalk, Oh,
absolutely not. Yeah, this I'm like, I don't really know what the hell happened with that. But yeah, I wanted to get into that really fast because I saw that there were other ones I saw like animal themed. I love
how we have this thing where you're probably one of 3 or 4 people when I see something like that, or see one of like the dude getting hit by the car video. Like when I see
Oh
those
my
videos,
God.
you're one of like the 3 or 4 people I immediately think of. Like I have to send this to Christian,
Yes,
because not for the show purposes, but because like you get the same reaction I do.
exactly. And I'm just like, this shit really happens. And I always think to
Yeah,
myself in
yeah.
situations like this of, what would I do if I saw something like that?
And the thing is, like half these videos that we see, like I wish we could bring up that video real quick, but maybe at the end of the show we can do it. But like no one ever helps these people.
No, they just
Like
look
they're
at them.
just like they just keep filming, and they just like these. The video we're talking about is this dude tried to jump over a car, and the car was going pretty fast, and the guy he had no chance, and he just flew right into the windshield. It looked like, I don't know where it was,
Done.
but it wasn't in the U.S. Dude
Absolutely.
tried to jump over the car, crashed into the windshield, flipped over the car again, like a flip, and landed on the ground, and then no one tried to help him.
They
I mean,
just looked.
the dude looked like he was getting right back up, but like, I mean, he's pretty messed up at that point. So everyone
Yeah.
just kept filming him, and he didn't get back up. So all these videos of people getting messed up, like no one ever helps these people. I feel bad for them a little bit, but
Nope.
like I can't, like a part of me feels bad because like they're seriously injured probably, but the
Yeah.
other part of me doesn't feel bad because like why would you do that? And you know what the consequences are.
In the beginning,
So
you know what's gonna happen potentially. The likelihood of you making it, like, have you tried that before? Or is this like the first time you're like, all right,
yeah,
let's just try it?
yeah. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
We'll jump
maybe
over a
I'll
small. We'll jump over a small car. Maybe maybe it
exactly.
won't hurt as bad. Let's go with Shiba Inu though.
So,
Shout out to the homies.
hey, shout out to Shiba Inu. So also shout out to I was listening today to a Rick Ross interview, and they were talking to him about Dogecoin and how like he'll go to like strip clubs, and a bunch of different people always want to talk to him about all these different cryptos. And he's like, he's very slow to get on the trend of cryptocurrency. He says, Rick Ross has so many other things going on in his life. And he was like, yeah, all these people want to go tell me about the next new Doge and the next new Shiba Inu. And I'm just like,
Yeah, the next new
I,
Shiba Inu.
yeah, like that's the thing. No, that's not what's gonna happen. But y'all can throw money at it. But yeah, I'll get into Shiba Inu in a second. But Bitcoin has continued to increase from the last time we ended up talking. It is currently at 44,000. Ethereum is still up there, and the reason why Ethereum is at where it's at, and also look at Solana, are because they're doing a lot of NFT stuff. So big kudos on Ethereum is to OpenSea. That's where they do a lot of their volume at, but also they're building a lot more projects on the blockchain over there. Solana is one that I personally have been investing a lot into. I appreciate everyone that listened to my Balloonsville comments that I did a week ago. So thank you to that, because Balloonsville is built on the Solana blockchain, but Yaku just came out, and that's one that has a very similar concept to CloneX, which is on the Ethereum blockchain, but Solana, they have Yaku, and I got one of their bikes. The whole point of like getting one of their bikes on Solana is you'll hold the bike, and then you'll be able to be on the whitelist for when the capsules come out. So you'll be able to get the capsules before other people can end up getting them. So think about it like The Sims. So the first thing you get is your car. If you have your car, then that'll guarantee you an early spot to end up getting a house. And then if you have the car and the house, that'll give you an early spot to getting the avatar. So they're building everything around their metaverse, and then they'll put it all together. My hope is, and I've been crossed my fingers, because CloneX, which is by Artifact on Ethereum blockchain, got picked up by Nike. I hope if Yaku continues to build this up and they continue to grow on the Solana blockchain, maybe an Asian-based company, or even one of the other ones out here like Puma or Reebok, I doubt Adidas, but any of them, if any of them can pick it up, oh, it'll be a different world. We might end up doing these interviews and conversations from like these different places, because that's how much I'm heavily invested into Yaku. It's much cheaper getting things on the Solana blockchain. So that's why you see Solana still in the top 10. For example, the Yaku motorcycle that I picked up today, it was only 2.9 Solana, so that's less than $300. Whereas on Ethereum, everything's expensive. So like right now, CloneX stuff is going for like 16 Ethereum, aka that's around like $45,000. And the original price of the Yaku on Solana was 0.5. I tried to get it on their controlled whitelist, didn't work because everyone was going after it. So the price started at 0.5, and I had to get it at 2.9. So it just shows you how much interest and demand there was for it. Also, XRP is here. As I always mention, there's two different stable coins that are in the top 10. So you have Tether, and you also have USD coin. But forget all this stuff in the top 9. I want to talk about number 10 because their big thing, number 10 and number 17 are the big ones because US Terra, so UST Terra, also Terra Luna, agreed to a partnership with the Washington Nationals. And it's a huge thing because they're going to have something called the Terra Club that'll be right behind home plate. Something that they're going to work towards in the future is actually to be able to accept UST as payment. The day they accept UST as payment, I have told people I will go to a lot of baseball games. Reason being, I keep a lot of money in cryptocurrency, and it's so much easier to do it that way. Everyone thinks that people are going to accept Bitcoin. People are not paying people in Bitcoin. That's not what a lot of people want to do. They want to have a stable coin that is cheap to end up using. That's why a lot of people are saying there's going to be a CBDC that's out there. But if we could get a stable coin that has cheap fees like what UST has, that'll be a major game changer for everything. You'll be able to accept it as payment. A lot of different businesses will accept it. You'll also see major institutions end up accepting that in terms of payment. So not trying to start anything, but you'll see like Venmo and PayPal and all these different companies being able to accept either UST or USDT, one of the ones that can be fast, scalable, and something that can be widely adopted. So that's the big thing I wanted to bring it up with that in terms of the price and everything. The next things I want to get into are NYSE, so the New York Stock Exchange, has filed a trademark to launch the metaverse. So that's something that's important. Today will be a big metaverse day. If you guys haven't realized, Warren Buffett has openly acknowledged that he has invested $1 billion into Bitcoin. For him, $1 billion is nothing. It's kind of like me investing like $10, $15. I was going to say 100, but $100 still does a lot for me. But so he invested $1 billion. The Atlanta Braves become the first MLB team to be in the metaverse. That's a major thing because you're going to start to see a lot of other people go into the metaverse as well. It's just more opportunities that they can end up doing moving forward that way. The publisher creator of Dragon Ball and Naruto has invested $130 million into focusing on the metaverse. So that's another thing you'll pay attention to going forward. FTX's US president says that a lot of family offices and a lot of pension funds are waiting for regulatory clarity in America for them to then invest in cryptocurrency. That's a huge thing that's happening in a lot of places. Once we finally see a lot of regulation that starts to move forward in terms of the direction of cryptocurrency and all these ETFs that are out there, you will start to see a lot more money go into it. A lot of people don't necessarily like the aspect of the decentralized way. They want it in a controlled decentralized way. So we'll start to see more people end up putting regulation down, the government stepping in to say their thoughts on it. We will start to see more people invest into cryptocurrency. So reason why I'm always telling people just to hold down. You don't want to be the person when Bitcoin's worth over $100,000 saying, I just got in, I wish I would have got it early. This is your time where you could just end up waiting and then investing. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just me telling you about what I've noticed and my own thoughts and opinions. Another big thing that I wanted to say in terms of the cryptocurrency world. So if any of you guys watched a second of the Super Bowl, you noticed 1 of 3 commercials. So there were 3 cryptocurrency commercials that came out, and every single time one came on, I was happy because this time last year, there were not this many cryptocurrency commercials. A big one, if you guys noticed, almost right after halftime was the crypto.com commercial where LeBron James was in it. So that was a big one that I did like to see.
That one commercial with the
Coinbase one.
The QR code was going from corner to corner. Yeah, that anybody who's our age, who's been around for a while, especially when you were back in like middle school, and like the Zenith TV and like the logo was going from corner to corner. It was always like you're waiting for it to like perfectly bump into the corner. So like, and that commercial was what, like 30 seconds. But yes. I'm sitting there like is it gonna mapping it out? Is it gonna go? I was pumped when I finally hit.
Yep,
like, pumped. I was like, yes, this is better than the game almost.
So the crazy part about that, Steven brought up a great point because that Coinbase commercial was one of the most popular commercials out of the whole Super Bowl ads. One, there weren't that many extremely amazing commercials, but also it's been the year of like cryptocurrency things, and it had that nostalgic feel to it of like remembering back in the day. But what's so wild about that commercial is so many people scanned the QR code that Coinbase's website shut down. Like it crashed. So that's the wild shit. People have different theories about like, did it really crash or did Coinbase shut it down so that they can end up sending people emails and thinking that, which will make more people get on it? Because if a site crashes, people are then skeptical and curious of like, what is there? Like, let's really go there. So Coinbase was another one. And then they had the FTX one. So congratulations to all of those three. They're spending a lot of money in marketing dollars. But a big thing that people have brought up is they're not preaching and talking about cryptocurrency. They're talking about the exchange and the company itself. So that's the important part because people think that they're talking about Ethereum Max or Dogecoin. They're not preaching any of the cryptocurrencies. They're talking about their product itself. And then once you get on there, then you can end up looking into different things. But it's like anything in the world. Think about like when Coke was when Coke was doing big things and Pepsi, and you're fighting for market share. All these different people know Americans are who we need to target. Also, other people around the world. But if you can become that number one cryptocurrency exchange, you're good. And if you have all the regulations and stuff, you're good. Like that's exactly what people are looking for with this. So that was a big thing that I did like seeing that at the Super Bowl. Chili's, which is a cryptocurrency that's out there, they have gone on to Blocktopia. So Blocktopia is another metaverse play. Blocktopia has 21 floors. So Chili's is another cryptocurrency it's going to be in Blocktopia. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that metaverse play. And the final thing I do want to talk about, nothing cryptocurrency related, but I thought it was just something cool. But I got this from one of the Papliato brothers. So shout out to them because they keep on having a lot of information. But after the Super Bowl, 140 private planes left that night within 5 hours of the Super Bowl ending.
Saw that.
That's some wild shit. That also just says how much money was there. And I was watching, I think it was GQ or something. All these different things I start to see on YouTube. But they talked to somebody that had one of the $1 million suites. One, I'd be pissed if I spent $1 million for a suite at the Super Bowl. But two, it does cost a lot. I was looking at the cheapest seats all the way at the top. It's like $3,000-$4,000 just to damn near get in. And what a lot of people don't understand is, so when I was looking at like season tickets, like after I looked at the Ravens, I started looking at the Bengals and the Rams, like others, because I was like, oh, these aren't sold out yet. The Rams season tickets are just expensive in itself because it's in LA. Yeah. So then just triple that for the Super Bowl. It's just going to be dumb prices, and people are going to spend the money for it. Like I remember Kanye West Ye and Antonio Brown, they spent like $1 million for their suite, but the suite I saw today, you did get decent stuff. Like you got nice chairs, like you had chefs that cooked food for you and stuff. But $1 million for a 3-hour game that everyone else is gonna watch.
I mean, like $1 million to those people is like it's nothing. But like every time they would, go show celebrities after commercial break or whatever, it would be a whole like other like there were so many celebrities there. Yes. So many people with names. So like they just kept showing different people because there were that many people there. Yeah. And fucking Kanye, whatever. This man paid I don't know how much money for whatever tickets, and all he's seeing is this for 3 hours.
Yep, exactly.
He's seeing through little holes. Like, come on, bro. Like, so corny.
So that was that one that I thought was just wild as the amount of people that I did see there. And that's what's going to happen when you're in LA. You're going to have all the celebrities. And part of it is the celebrities are going to buy up all the suites so you can put the prices up. And it's going to be one of those pissing contests, like who has the most money, end up paying for this and that. Like I saw Paris Hilton, and she wasn't even the most popular one there. Like she was a regular ass person, and they got to talk to her. So like if you're able to talk to the celebrities, they're not all the way up there. Like LeBron was in his little suite with people.
What? Yo, I want to give a shout out real quick to this girl I know, Carissa Maxwell. She works for the Sporting News. She's a journalist, sports journalist, and she took the video of LeBron bumping out to in the club.
Really?
The video that went viral. That was turned into a bunch of memes. So I want to give a shout out to Carissa. She does a hell of a job. She's she's always on top of her game with shit like that. So shout out to Carissa.
Yeah, so shout out, because that is a big thing, because a lot of people are showing that one. I guess we could segue right now into the Super Bowl stuff. So what are your thoughts? and takeaways from the Super Bowl.
Over 110 million people watched it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I think overall it was an awesome game. I'm very happy the Rams won.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that Matt Stafford got one. Very happy that Aaron Donald finally got one. Happy that Odell Beckham got one. I know he got hurt, likely towards ACL again, so that kind of sucks.
He did. It was confirmed.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, but he got one. I mean, he got a ring, and he, was a significant contributor in the first half before the injury, and he was likely potentially on his way to being the MVP of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure. I think things would have. I think I'm not gonna say that it would have blown him out, but I think it wouldn't have been a close game if he would have not gotten hurt, because they had no answer for him. So then you want to go double him, and then you leave Cooper Kupp open. So there was it's unfortunate for him though for multiple reasons. But it was that was an awesome game and an awesome playoff run for the NFL. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think there was a bad game this entire postseason, if I remember correctly. So yeah, dope game. Happy that it came down to the end. I'm happy that Aaron Donald was the one that ended the game. Like,
that was
obviously
good to see it. Yeah.
I mean, like no shit. But that final drive though, that 15 play drive was like, I know Stafford found some other guys there, but him and Cooper Kupp had no choice but to go do what they did. Yeah. And no choice but to go ball out. Eli Apple.
He's gonna be. I'm not gonna forever.
I'm not gonna be the one that continues to pile on. We've already texted about that, but yeah, I mean, they had no choice but to go there and drive right down the field. And Stafford made some crazy throws, clutch throws, and then there was a conversation afterwards, like, is he a Hall of Famer? I don't think so yet. I think when his career is done, he's 34, I think 33, 34. When his career's done, he's likely going to have over 60,000 passing yards and over 400 touchdowns. If he plays another 3 or 4 seasons and has standard Matthew Stafford numbers, he'll likely get over 60,000, which will probably put him, 6th or 7th all time, because he's got Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers ahead of him that are active players. So they'll be on that list. And then, he'll pass potentially guys like Roethlisberger, Eli, Rivers, and he only has 1 Pro Bowl. So there was Richard Sherman had like this huge Twitter rant about he's not a Hall of Famer right now. Probably not. I mean, that's just the debate that everyone has after somebody wins a ring.
They do. Yeah.
Finally. I mean, it's not like a ring was going to keep Aaron Donald out of the Hall of Fame. So that's the difference. Von Miller's got another one, but he was a Hall of Famer, I think, before this one. But I think when Stafford's career is done, if he plays another 3 or 4 seasons with the Rams and puts up Stafford numbers, he'll probably be one. But I think overall, going back to your question, I think the game was awesome. Like, that's the Super Bowl. That's what you hope it is. You hope it comes down to a final drive. You hope it comes down to, one team having to make a 4th and 1 and the other team trying to stop them on that 4th and 1. And the best players on the field made the biggest plays, made the most important plays. So, shout out to the NFL for, providing that. Good for us.
So my first thing is, and I talked to Steven about this before, I think I'm the most happy for Matthew Stafford's wife. And the amount of shit they had to go through in Detroit. Like, yes, NFL players go through a lot, but Matthew Stafford had to deal with a lot. Then they have all these kids, and then she just has to deal with every single time they lose, he's coming home. Like, no. And then you could just tell, I was watching it, and I'm like, when you go from Detroit to California, your whole vibe and energy just changes. Like, she seemed like the most excited person in the world. And I was happy for them. I'm happy for Matthew Stafford. This was probably one of the few Super Bowls where there was no real person you didn't want to have win. Okay, maybe Eli Apple, but it's like the Bengals, I would have been happy if they won to see Joe Burrow do it. Joe Burrow is someone you can't really hate. And he's a nice guy. Jamar Chase, same thing. T. Higgins, I saw him online. A lot of people were getting mad at him because they lost bets because of that. He was like, all right, see me in Madden and stuff.
I wanted Stafford to win, but like it's not like if the Rams lost, I was going to be pissed that the Bengals won.
Yeah,
Like the Bengals are going to have more chances to get back, and you would think that this isn't going to be a one-time thing. This isn't going to be a fluke. Like they need to do some things in the draft and the offseason and build that team back up. But you would think that they're going to be one of the 3 or 4 AFC teams who can get back there every year, along with the Chiefs and the Bills and who else is up there? Ravens, I guess.
Yeah, they say the Ravens.
I feel like I'm missing a team.
Bills,
Bills,
Aaron
Chiefs.
Rodgers goes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, I mean, they'll have chances. Joe Burrow's 24, 25. Jamar Chase is 22. So they have their core. T. Higgins is still young.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon, I think, is relatively young. They got to keep those guys intact. And, Joe Burrow's going to he's on a rookie deal. So like, once his deal's up, they have a lot of leverage with that, the back end thing. So they have plenty of time to get back to the Super Bowl. But like the Rams, they have a lot of they built this team for this year.
Absolutely.
Like they brought in Odell for this year. They brought in Von Miller for this year. Shout out to Eric Weddle, came back in for the playoffs, tore his pec first quarter, I think it was, and played the rest of the 3.5 quarters with the torn pec. So shout out to him. Like they built this team.
You die for a ring.
Yeah, you like that. This win or lose, this was his last game. So like, he's done. But yeah, I mean, they were built for this year. The Bengals are hopefully built for long-term success, but the Rams are built for this year. So, yeah, I was happy that they won because this might be the only chance that you have that collection of players and they're still in their prime and getting back to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, happy that they won, but I wasn't gonna be mad if they lost.
Yeah. So the other thing with that, because I was thinking about that with the Rams, some of these players aren't going to be back next year. And then also like Odell Beckham being injured, you don't know when he's going to be coming back. You don't know if
he's a free agent too.
Back. Exactly. He's a free agent. So that's so crazy that Robert Woods got injured and you had Odell Beckham step in his spot and then he got injured. So that also gives them a lot of decisions because after this year, I was like, maybe they'll just keep OBJ and then get rid of Robert Woods. Nope, you might as well keep Robert Woods down because he's going to be healthier quicker than OBJ is. And then shout out Dan Jefferson because right after the game, he had to end up go to the hospital. So that was another big thing with them. But
you think he was sick? Like, damn, she's having a baby right now. I can't go out and go party with the homies.
I gotta go right there. That's what I gotta do. You can't just wait like one more day or something.
Yeah,
like that.
You can't just give me like 5-6 hours to go. Go drink it off a little bit, and then I'll meet you at the hospital in like 5-6 hours.
Nope, he had to go switch jobs like really quick.
I'd be a little sick if my wife gave birth right after the Super Bowl, and I was like, "Yo, homies are going to the club real quick. You think you can hold it down at the hospital for a little bit?
Just a little bit,
bro. We had plenty of time."
Yeah. So that was another thing because then also OBJ's girlfriend, she was supposed. This is the thing that annoys me. 2 things annoyed me with the whole Super Bowl narrative. One, how they kept talking ever since Rodney Harrison said maybe Aaron Donald's going to retire. No, that was you guys hyping it up a little more. Aaron Donald's head was probably like, I did say this out loud, just like thinking out loud. And then you guys want to take it and run with it. Because now he supposedly said today he's probably coming back. He wants to run it back. The other thing is,
if he retired real quick, like his resume is not bad. He's a 7-time All-Pro. He's a Super Bowl champ, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 7 straight Pro Bowls. I mean, All Pros, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's pretty much solidified. He does have 98 career sacks. So like, I need you to get 2 more to count this, get us even 100. But I mean, he's 30, and I'm pretty sure he's one of he's not one of the highest paid defensive players in the league because he got off the rookie deal but he probably got it done early, but he might be using that as leverage. Like, hey, I'm either going to retire or you guys are going to pay me what I need to be paid.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, either way, shout out to Aaron Donald, bro.
Yeah. So other thing I wanted to bring up with the game is, and I didn't think about this at first, but Bernard Hargraves. So I saw when they were celebrating, and then all of a sudden you just see like somebody running onto the field. And later on, it didn't click with me till they said like a 15-yard penalty. I was like, what the hell? You really needed that much attention in because you couldn't be playing in the game. You said, let me just go run on the field with them. So some people are like, he's definitely going to get cut. I don't know if he will or will not get cut, but what are your thoughts on that? Because I saw that and I was just like, I've never seen something like that before.
I mean, like, I get your hype.
Yeah.
It's Super Bowl, like, big play, touchdown. It's just, I get it, but like, bro, you just can't do that.
No.
I mean, like,
How close were you to the sideline?
If you're in uniform, maybe that's acceptable. Like, that happens. Like, we've seen, defensive players come on the field when there's a big touchdown, maybe like end of the game type of thing, or like we've seen it vice versa. There's a pick six. We've seen offensive players run onto the field for like that, that photo op celebration that they do. But bro, you're not even on the active roster.
No.
And then the next clip they show of him, he's just sitting on the sideline with that towel over his head.
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, that messed you up.
Yeah, he's done. If I was the coach, I'd be like, bro, just go back to the locker room. Don't come back out. Don't even watch the game.
That's what I was thinking.
Go back to the hotel, get on the flight, and go. Don't even watch the end of the game.
Yeah, don't even ask no questions. You already know what you did. So, other thing, because there's two other things I wanted to bring up. We basically talked a lot about the Super Bowl. Another thing I want to just say is the Dodgers have now actually, because people don't like to bring this up, the LA Kings won, the Dodgers won, the Rams have won, and the Lakers have won. But the three they like to bring up, because those are the main sports, Rams, Dodgers, and Lakers have all won. But I wanted to segue this and to talk about people that are in the locker room don't play to the James Harden, Ben Simmons deal. Of course, Andre Drummond was in the deal and Seth Curry was in the deal. But yes, because it does affect us. All the trades that happened on the day affected us, the Sacramento stuff. But what are your thoughts on the James Harden Ben 10 trade?
So we don't have to get into the whole mental, like whatever he's dealing mentally, Ben Simmons. We don't have to get into that. I think it's good for both teams. I feel like both guys are in a position now where like they're happy, like they're where they want to be at. I think Simmons was never going to play with the Sixers again.
No, we do that.
So I think he's in the spot where he's happy now. Harden's in the spot where he's healthy, and I think it benefits both teams because I think for the Nets, their fast break and their transition game is going to be nice. In the games that Kyrie can play it, and that's what's going to come back to haunt them. Though I think without having Harden, without having that secondary scorer, I know they got Curry. I know Simmons can score. I know he can get you 15 to 20, but like he can't get you. There's a big difference from getting like 15 to 20 and like 25, 30, 35, like Harden can get you. If like Kyrie's not playing or, Kyrie or KD is not hitting shots, like you have someone else who can get their own shot, who can get to the bucket, who shoots good percentage from the free throws, who's like somewhat efficient, and, draws a lot of fouls. So like that part of it, maybe. I know you got Curry, but the Sixers don't really have a bench now. So like that kind of hurts them as well.
Yeah.
But I think when you have two guys like Harden and Embiid who can both drop 40 nightly, like that pick and roll is going to be nice because Embiid can step out and Harden can step out. Obviously, Harden can get to the bucket. Like no one can really guard Joel Embiid that low. So I think it benefits both teams. And now if the Nets match up with the Bucks and down the road in the playoffs, I mean the Nets got to start winning games though. Yeah, like they gotta get their core together. They got to get both teams have to get healthy because Harden's dealing with the hamstring, which I mean he was getting shots up and he was doing step backs. Like Tracy McGrady said, like you're not rehabbing your hammy by doing step backs. No, so like he wasn't really hurt. He was milking that. So but Simmons,
said it too.
Yeah, we don't know like when Simmons is going to come back. We don't know when KD's going to come back. I mean, people forget like KD's out for a while.
Yeah.
Until like post All-Star break, and no one knows when that is. So they got to get healthy. They got to start winning games because they're slipping and sliding. I think they've lost like 10 of 11 or so. I think they were losing to the Knicks by like a dozen or so last time I checked. So they got to start winning games. Like like they don't have like they have Durant and Kyrie when he plays, and they have Ben Simmons. Like they have a good three, but like they don't have a lot of like outside scoring. Like, are you going to rely on Patty Mills continuously to get you
He gets
buckets?
you the three.
Again, I know you got Seth Curry. I know you got those guys, but like this is like when like LeBron, when LeBron had Caleb and Kyrie. Like, are you going to rely? Were you going to rely on JR and like George Hill and those dudes to get you like that 15 to 20 that you might need? Are you going to rely on Ben Simmons? Like he can play great defense. He can match up with someone like Giannis and whatnot. So I don't know. I think like both teams definitely benefit from it in different ways, but I think both teams also maybe took a step back in certain areas when it comes to like the overall picture of like how far they can get. I think both teams can still win championships. If I had to pick one though, when healthy, I'd probably say the Sixers, because I don't think that there's a team in the East that has a matchup for Embiid outside of maybe Giannis. But I think Embiid is, he's playing at such a high level right now, and he knows nobody can guard him. And so I think there's no one really in the East that can match up physically with him. So I think if I had to pick a team right now, I'd probably go with the Sixers though.
I will say with that trade happening, it brings in an X factor of Tobias Harris, because if you end up stopping Joel Embiid, find some miraculous way to stop him, because he leveled up this year. Every year he's starting to get better. I remember in Kansas, my man was injured. First years in the league, injured. And then if you find a way to stop James Harden, if Tobias Harris could be the Tobias Harris like people knew, like the Clippers days and like early Sixers days, those times when he would be able to put up easy buckets, you guys have a solid third option. Yes, you had to give up like Drummond and then Seth Curry, then first round picks. First round picks aren't really that much anymore. They're kind of like throwing a dart out there. And then Ben Simmons, you traded guard for guard almost in that sense. James Harden, you're going to be able to count on more to get you buckets outside of the paint. Ben Simmons, you better hope and pray he's going to make it outside of the paint. So with that, but then the Brooklyn, I will say Brooklyn won in terms of like Philly, Brooklyn, and Houston with this whole James Harden stuff, because they got a good amount of pieces. But in terms of who's going to be better on the court now, if everyone's healthy and no fake injuries and stuff like that, I will say James Harden, Joel Embiid is pretty good.
Also, speaking of Tobias Harris, like he's someone who's got to get you like not in like the 18 to 22 range, but he's got to get you like that 22 to 25 range.
Yeah.
Like he's got to be on the higher end of what he scores, because they're going to try and teams are going to try and take away Harden and Embiid, and they're going to try and take away the pick and roll and everything. And like they're probably not going to, because Harden's a legitimate point guard.
Yeah.
Like he's not just like dropping 35 and 5. He's dropping like 30, 10 and like 8 boards. So basically a triple double. And Embiid's also nice with the assist. So, both those guys are dangerous in different ways, but I'd have to go with the Sixers, because like the Nets are going to be great in transition, but they're not going to be running the whole game. This isn't going to be like, prime North Carolina Roy Williams, where you're just running up and down the court. It's not going to be like that. That's not how it works. Now they'll have those spurts where they can get up and down a bunch of times when all three of those guys are Harden or Simmons and Durant are on the floor when Kyrie's not playing, but that's not going to be like a consistent up and down thing. That pick and roll game is always going to be there for the Sixers.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that they are. And bro, I cannot wait till the Nets are in a playoff game and it comes down to Ben Simmons shooting a free throw.
Yeah. So what's crazy is I was going to ask you a question about going into. There's so many what ifs when it comes to the Nets, but I was going to ask you, in terms of the playoffs, the Nets, when they get there, does Kyrie get to play at home games?
No, I mean, so far, no.
So you guys might take L's in the playoffs unless KD can just lead you guys, because Ben's going to miss free throws in the playoffs. They will foul the shit out of him.
Yeah,
Kyrie's not going to be there.
I think
so. You guys better hope to get the lower seed every single time.
I think Kyrie's going to end up playing in the playoffs
somehow.
I think there's going to be like, he has to, like, there's going to be some miraculous, rule that gets lifted just in time for the playoffs that he's going to be able to play.
Adam Silver just said something not too long ago
he's
about that whole
that
rule.
like unvaccinated players can come in and play in Brooklyn, but Kyrie, who's unvaccinated, can't play in Brooklyn because it's like it's a state mandate. So there's something that's going to get lifted. I would almost guarantee it by the time the playoffs come around, if the Nets make the playoffs, because right now they are the 8th seed, I think.
They fell. They were up at the top.
They were like second in the East, and then they've lost. I mean, Durant got hurt, and that's obviously huge. And Harden was like, he was done with it. So they've lost, I think, 10 of 11 or so. And last time I checked, they were losing to the Knicks. Let me check that out. But yeah.
So other thing I wanted to bring it up before we wrap everything up was All-Star games. So this is something I do like what the NFL did, move it their stuff, the Super Bowl back a week because they have more games. Because you get the Super Bowl and then you get the All-Star weekend. That's something as a sports fan I appreciate, and because the All-Star game in the NBA is way better than the Pro Bowl shit, but that's neither here nor there. But what are you looking forward to this weekend with the All-Star weekend?
So, so we're going to the beach this weekend. I've never been to the beach in February, so I'm not sure what that's like, but we're going to Bethany. We're doing a little birthday celebrations for my daughter. So me and BJ, shout out to my brother-in-law BJ, we're gonna be shout out. We're gonna be watching the festivities this weekend, but I only look forward to the dunk contest. I could care less about everything else now. I think now, as I've gotten older, the dunk contest isn't what it used to be. I think everyone can agree on that. But I'm excited to see what like Obi Toppin does because he's in it. Yeah. So that'd be pretty dope. Is he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to see what he can do. I'm really, like I said, only looking forward to the dunk contest. And then I personally love watching the All-Star game. Yeah. Because it's the greatest collection of basketball players in the entire world. And it's just the best pickup game ever. No matter who's playing. Like, because it's the 10 greatest players on the court at one time. Outside of watching the USA men's basketball team dominate the entire world, I love watching the All-Star game because that's when that's the game where like these dudes are like, they're just hooping. Like nothing matters. Like, none of it matters. Like it's just a game. And they try for like spurts, but like they're just hooping. Like they're throwing lobs to each other. And like you get to see, like LeBron throw a lob to Giannis, and you get to see, Luka throw a lob to Durant, or like, whatever the case may be. Yeah. So I think, I'm a big fan. People hate the All-Star game because it's like watered down. Well, like, duh. Yeah. What do you want? Like, it's not like nothing's on the line. Yeah. Like, this isn't game 7 of the finals. So like, it doesn't matter. Of course,
you can do is up the money, and then they'll play more serious.
Yeah. Like no shit. Like, I mean, or you can do like home court advantage throughout the finals or whatever the case may be for well, then you got to do. Second of all, okay, this. Like, I hate the format of the All-Star game. Because are we still doing like, you got to get to like this many points. And then it's like, you got to get to this many points. And then you got, the first team to like 150 wins or some bullshit like that, right? I don't know what it is. Yeah. Go back to the jerseys being like the jerseys, like the home and away, the west and east, and stop doing a draft. Stop doing that. Just do West and East. Like go back. Like, I mean, go back to what it was. Go back to the West and East. I hate how we do this like futuristic shit and like trying to come up with all these cool uniforms and shit like that. Just go back to what it was. Everyone loved it back in the day.
It shows you they don't care about defense. Because Rudy Gobert, only reason why he was not last is because nobody wanted Harden.
Yeah,
and Harden ain't even playing. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like if Gobert was the last pick, that would have been even funnier. But he was picked out of spite, which is 10 times better because no one likes Rudy Gobert.
No, they're like, all right, whatever. But so, what you got for the people?
I just want to give a shout out to my daughter. Turns 5 tomorrow. I mentioned it before. Like this month is totally dedicated to her. She's so excited for tomorrow. My wife is currently decorating our dining room with all the presents and banners and streamers and everything. So, but it's crazy. Like, you've known me the entirety of my marriage with my wife. You've known me the entirety of having both my kids. So I can't believe like I turned 30 next month, and I definitely like never would have thought that I'd have 2 kids by the time I was 30, let alone, 5 and 3. So, when they turn 1, it's a big deal because it's 1. Like 2 is, they're all big deals because they're your kids, but like 2, 3, 4, it's like, it's just, it goes 5, 10, 16, 21, 30, and then, it goes by tens after that for how significant birthdays are. But like 5, it's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what just happened? Like, you blink, and people always say like you blink and they're 10, you blink and they're 20. It's like, it's absolutely true. So, shout out to my daughter. She's the best. She runs the house. She's dope. So we're gonna celebrate tomorrow. We did a pizza party last weekend with her friends. She'll have a little cake at school tomorrow for her classmates and everything. And then we'll do. She loves mac and cheese, so she requested mac and cheese for dinner. Which I'll make you mac and cheese. That's cool. So yeah, big shout out to my daughter. So happy for her. It's very, very awesome. And shout out to Penn State basketball. Got the W last night against Michigan State. First ranked win for Micah Shrewsbury, new head coach. So shout out to Coach Shrews and the Shrews crew. So what do you got?
So I'll take the lob of the reasons why Steve and I are tied together so many different ways. I'll say happy birthday to my brother that actually has his birthday on Friday. So those are like the different things. He's out at school right now. We were talking today. But so that's the first thing. The other thing I wanted to do is shout out, but also the wild shit that goes on in life. So I had surgery last Friday on my nose and stuff like that. Of course, when you have brothers, you're like, damn, you got a nose job like celebrities.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking when you texted me. I was like, damn, bro.
So I had that happen.
Freddie Mac paid for that, right?
No, kind of. My old job more so paid for that.
Nice.
Because I still had money from them. But those things are crazy. But bigger thing with that is just the recovery that it ends up taking. And then also they like put you under anesthesia. Don't get me started on anesthesia and stuff like that because like you're asleep. I woke up and they said the first thing I said was, will I be able to go to the Super Bowl? Like my ass gonna pay $3,000 to go to the Super Bowl in the first place. But so that was crazy. Like my mom drove me home after that. So I was like, that's straight. But yeah, anesthesia is crazy. I found out so much about the nose, the different body parts that function with the nose. Crazy. But that's it. We'll be back next week. Enjoy the All-Star weekend. And other than that, we out.
Peace.